Hey guys, welcome to the show. Sri Lankan Sammy, retired with mom and dad. I am back, baby. Let's just check the show. Everything looks good on the live broadcast. Well, here we are. Happy Sunday morning to you all joining. We got the coffee going. Let's just check to make sure everything over here is. Today we are going to be talking about what happened in Southeast Asia, what happened in Myanmar, what happened in Thailand. My goodness. First of all, just, everyone I know is safe and okay. It is a tragedy. It is horrifying to watch the video. I was up all night watching the videos. I mean, being disconnected from these places. I mean, I was just there 3 weeks ago in Bangkok. I was staying on the 82nd floor of a building. Had this happened when I was there, I don't know what would have happened. I mean, obviously, I would have been safe, but it would have been scary as heck. And I can just imagine what the people of Thailand were and are going through, because they do not get earthquakes. It is not an earthquake zone. It would be like saying Sri Lanka got snow yesterday in Colombo, 10 centimeters of snow. The people would lose their freaking mind. I mean, come on, the tsunami in Sri Lanka, in Southeast Asia, the Boxing Day tsunami. The fires in South Korea, the fires in America, the LA fires. Those are all things that happen in places where they're not really supposed to happen. Fires, okay, yeah, those occur. They happen in those places. It's expected, but when it becomes like crazy, like it was, then you're like, hold on a second, what's going on? Then you have like earthquakes where they're not supposed to have earthquakes. Okay, I have experienced an earthquake twice in my life. Once I remember. First time I was 6 months old in China. Mom said it was a 5.0. They felt weird. But they were in a second floor, third floor, and it wasn't very long. I was in the Philippines a couple of years ago, and I was living in Subic Bay, which is an earthquake zone, so it's not unheard of. It's also a volcano zone. I'm 25 kilometers away from Mount Pinatubo, the one that blew up in the 90s and just devastated that area and closed down the American base. I always asked, why the beach's sand is all black and dirty looking. It's the leftover ash, the meters of ash that was left on that beach. Anyway, I'm sitting in my home office like this. We're on the second floor of a 2-story villa. And I'm just like this. I have a window here and a window over there. I'm in the corner. And we live on a dirt road about 400 meters from the ocean. And the road there is not very good. I know that. So it's about 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm just finishing up some work. I hear what sounds to be just 1 second, guys. Work as always takes precedent, especially since this is the last year that I'm probably working. This is probably the last full-time year. This time next year, I'll be wrapping things up. Anyway, so I'm sitting there like this, just working away. And I hear what sounds to be like a dump truck. The noise a dump truck makes, that rattling noise that the tail and the metal makes when it's shaking. Not the engine, not the wheels, not the truck itself. But if you can imagine metal on metal shaking. And the only thing I can associate with is when a dump truck is coming down the road. It makes that shaking noise, right? So I hear this, and in the back of my mind, I hear it coming from over there. And in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, who the heck is driving a dump truck down our road? Because it's a small road, right? It's a tiny road, a dirt road. And at the end, I know there's no way that guy's going to be able to turn around a dump truck. Oh, this coffee's so good. I'm sorry, I'm skipping around to so many different topics. I got a new grinder, and I got a silver disc that you put on top of your coffee grounds when you put it in the machine, which distributes the water a little bit better. And I'm grinding my coffee a much finer grind. And it's coming out, oh my gosh, it's coming out so good. So I'm allowed to drink as much coffee as I can, as I want, and I don't break my fast. There's no calories because there's no sugar and no milk. So it's just espresso coffee straight. Really good. I'm getting used to it. But when I break my fast for the 4 hours that I eat between 10 and 2, I will have a little bit of sugar. Now, I want to try it with milk. I want to see what it tastes like with milk. I've never done the milk thing. So I'm not a big milk guy, but I do like a good cafe latte. So maybe I'll try it with milk and see what it tastes like. So anyway, squirrel, I got distracted. So I'm listening to this truck. Now, obviously, what it was all of the buildings shaking. And it's sort of like a wave. So it was coming from far away, coming in this direction. And then I felt something. And because I have screens in front, I couldn't really see out the window, right? And I'm like, something is weird. Earthquake was the last thing on my mind. Again, because I had just been living there a short time, right? I mean, the total amount of time I spent in the Philippines was 6 months. But I didn't know about earthquakes. You don't think about things like that. That's the last thing that comes to your mind. And then all of a sudden, the house just moved a foot like that. As if somebody had pushed me or hit the house, right? There was no noise. It was just the house moved like that. And then my friend, Tim, who was my roommate, he yelled out, "Earthquake!" I'm like, what do I do? What do I do? So I ran to the window. The first thing I did is grab my phone and start taking video. I didn't run out of the house. I started taking video. It was the stupidest thing I could have done. I should have run out of the house. But by the time I would have run out of the house, it was over. It lasted 20, 30 seconds at the most. And it turns out it was a 5.1, about 200 kilometers away in the ocean. deep in the ocean. So if it's deep underground, it doesn't really affect the land that much. Unlike the earthquake that happened in Myanmar, which is only 10 kilometers down. That is very shallow. That affects a lot. So it was a 7.1 in Myanmar and it was a 6 in Bangkok, which is huge, like 5.56. So I felt a 5.1 in Philippines. It did not last long. Like by the time I got my camera rolling, the only thing left to see was the trees and power lines swaying. You couldn't. The building had stopped moving, but it was a very weird sensation. Like I called out to my neighbor, who was, you guys have met before, is California Dave. He lived right across the street from me. And he was like, what the heck was that? And he's on the first floor, right? I'm on the second floor. Can you imagine, like the videos that you guys have seen and I've seen online of those condos, those 40, 50, 60 floor condos swaying in, that's just scary. And then now the post videos of people going home and looking at their condos and the cracks. And I was watching a video this morning, one guy saying he's breaking his lease and leaving. He's moving to a villa. I have a few other YouTube friends who are in villas. They're okay. They said they didn't feel anything but the shaking. Now, my friends in Pattaya, my friends in Krabi, they're all okay. Hua Hyun, they're all okay. They didn't feel anything. So it was in the northern part, Chiang Mai, Chiang Rai, and Bangkok. Now, the reason it was felt so huge in Bangkok is because of the tall buildings. There are so many tall buildings, and they just sway. Oh, I did feel another earthquake in Korea about 15 years ago. It was a 3.9, and it wasn't really something I felt. It was something more of like, what was that? And then the water on the table was just moving inside the glass. That's it. Like for 5 seconds, I felt weird in my stomach. And I'm like, because I was on the 20th floor of a building in downtown Seoul when there was a 3.9, tiny earthquake. Korea doesn't get more than 4. In the south, they'll get a 4.5, but it's like 3.1 to 3.9 in Korea. So you barely feel it. Oh, and the other thing, in the Philippines, as soon as my friend shouted earthquake, the phone went off and the alert came on, earthquake alert. The screaming. So, yeah. In Bangkok, they don't have that because, again, it's something that just doesn't exist. So today we're going to talk about, this is a retirement Facebook page, a YouTube page, right? So we're going to talk about retiring in Southeast Asia. What are the natural perils of living in Southeast Asia? Well, the first thing is earthquakes. So let me just pull up my map here. Let's take a look at so tired. All right. If you are in Indonesia, Bali, Philippines, Well, let's just share. Now, by no way am I an expert, okay? I'm not an expert. So please don't listen to me, okay? This is just what I have learned. If you are in this area, so I mean, we're not going to talk about northern China. Let's talk about here. So from Singapore, Indonesia, Papua New Guinea, Philippines. So down here, Jakarta, Sumatra, Bali, Indonesia. This area here near Papua New Guinea, Philippines, Vietnam area, and obviously northern Indonesia, Banda Aceh, which is where the big earthquake happened. So, and the tsunami. So if you're in in this area here, I'm not sure about Vietnam, but definitely Malaysia, Indonesia, Jakarta, Bali, all down here, all through Indonesia. So from northern Malaysia down through Singapore to Bali, up to the Philippines. If you're in that area, you got to be careful about earthquakes and tsunamis. Okay, earthquakes number one. Okay, tsunamis number two. So if you're in Vietnam, Pattaya, Krabi, Phuket, you got to worry about tsunami. Okay, obviously Sri Lanka, tsunami. The second thing you got to worry about in this area is typhoons. Philippines for sure. Typhoons come across here and hit the Philippines all the time. Thailand gets monsoons. Everyone gets monsoons. So monsoons you got to worry about. All throughout Malaysia, Vietnam, Cambodia, Thailand, Laos. Philippines more. They get, luckily while I was there, I missed out. I mean, I was there for January till July, so I missed the typhoons. Yeah, so if you're in Malaysia and Krabi, Pattaya, monsoons. They don't get typhoons. They get rain, heavy rain. I don't know about northern Thailand because I've never been to northern Thailand. So I'm just going to talk about Vietnam, obviously, because it's on coastal. On this area, you're going to get your typhoons. On this area, you're going to get your monsoons. So where do you want to live? Oh, and then on top of that, you have volcanoes. Philippines is all volcanoes. You got to be careful of the volcanoes. So check that out. Although, you know, Bali and Indonesia volcanoes, Philippines volcanoes. Thailand, Vietnam, northern Malaysia, no. Southern Malaysia, yes. Philippines, absolutely. You know, the funniest thing is that I was here in Subic Bay, so along the pole. All right, so I was staying over here, Baloy Beach. So my house was right about this one, I think. I'm trying to remember. so long ago. Let's come down here. Yeah. So you can see it's a small road, right? And this was my apartment. This is my bedroom right there. No, this one is my bedroom right there. And this is where my friend was staying. So you can see it's like it's this tiny road. Who would be driving a truck down this road? So that was my bedroom, that corner. So I had 1, 2, 3 windows. And when I was taking the video, these trees and these lines were all swinging. So I'm here in this area, Baloy Beach, and here's the volcano right there. You can see where all the lava and everything came down. I mean, we're 25 kilometers from there. This is all the runoff. You can see, right, from the volcano. This is Mount Pinatubo. Is it? Oh no, there it is over there. Sorry, I knew it was around here somewhere. So you can see how it's not far. And when it exploded, it blew this way because this is where the army base was. This is the American army base was all over here, right? So it is crazy, the video, the pictures I saw. And all that's left is just lake. I didn't go because it's like too far, but not too far, but it's just too much of a trip to at that time. Anyway, so volcanoes all up and down here. Where do you want to stay? Well, first of all, you cannot go and stay thinking along the lines of, oh no, I've got to worry about this, I've got to worry about that. Don't do that. What you have to do is you have to go thinking, you know what? I'm going to be living life. I'm going to be enjoying life. Don't go thinking, oh no, what's going to happen? How am I going to protect myself? What happens if this, what? You're not going to enjoy it. But there are things you can do. So when you find a place, when you go somewhere, find a place that's, so what are the things you got to avoid? Well, you have to avoid earthquakes. Well, then don't live in a condo. Don't live in a 30-story condo. Live in a villa. Live on the top floor of a villa. Second or third floor. Number one, there's nothing above you. So in the event of a collapse, the only part of the collapse will be the roof. So if you position yourself under a door frame, that's the best place to be, under a door frame. So if there's a collapse, you have something above you to protect you. Don't get under a table. That's the stupidest thing. A table is not going to support the weight of the roof. A door frame will. Okay? If there's a collapse, you're going to fall. You're going to get hurt, but you're going to survive. Okay? That's the first thing. Second thing, being on the second or third floor protects you from a tsunami, or can protect you from a tsunami. Volcano, I don't know, because that's fire, but it's a slow fire. If it's a pyroclastic blast like Pompeii, nothing can protect you. And there's no warning. It's just it's finished. Just give up. But I mean, the safest thing is to always be, and I know, of course, flooding. Always make sure you're up on a hilly part of, and that you're not susceptible to landslides. You don't have a mountain behind you. Okay. So, I mean, those are the things you can do to, like, kind of, if you're staying long term, right? If that's going to be your home for a year or 2 years. If you're on vacation, then it's your choice. I don't think about things like that when I'm on vacation. I'm going to start thinking about things. I'm going to start thinking about, like, when I go to Vietnam, I'm not going to think about earthquakes. I'm going to think more about water safety. So I'm going to think about that. But the thing is you're not in the condo all the time. You know, you're there to sleep. So unless it happens at night, and there's the thing, there's the odds, right? What are the odds that you're in your apartment when something happens? When you're on vacation, you're usually not, you're spending more time outside the apartment than you are inside. When you're living there, you're spending more time in the apartment than you are outside. So that's how I look at it. That's how I think about it. So, yeah, this is basically the safety things that I was talking about. Guys, I'm going to keep our live stream today short. I have a ton of stuff to do. Number one of them being my new business, my new side hustle. Check it out. I'm going to talk about that in a second. I think, well, it's only 7 a.m. local time. I think I am going to go to the beach today. I'm going to try to convince mom and dad to come to the beach. If not, I'm going to go by myself. Well, it all depends on how I feel. I'm a little tired. After this, I'm going to take a quick nap, a couple hours, and just relax. So my new side hustle is laptop repair. Bought my first laptop. I paid 40,000 rupees for it. The guy wanted 60. I got him down. It's a pretty good laptop. So I've been using ChatGTP. How much did I pay? 40,000. So I paid $135 for this laptop. And ChatGTP is telling me that I can sell it. It's a Dell Pentium Silver. It's got 8 gigabytes of RAM, 1 terabyte hard drive, and a 256 gigabyte SSD. Nope, that's not it. Which one did I buy? That was a different one. Too much info on here. All right. Dell Inspiron 5548 i7. I should make about 20,000 rupees profit, which is about a 40% return on investment. Basically because, and here's the reason why I think I'm going to make a good profit. First of all, I got them on a low ball offer. I can sell it for about 20. I'm going to post it for about 25,000 more. I'm going to post it for about 65. Ooh. I'm going to post it for 65. People will lowball me and I'll come back up. You know, I'll put 65. They'll put 50. I'll put, 63. And they'll put 55. And then I'll put 60 final offer. And then they'll say 58. And I'll say, sorry, not 58. Because of what I've done to it. And the professional pictures. So Facebook Marketplace allows me to put 10 pictures. I'm going to put 10. And the 10 I'm going to have are these really close-up pictures of the keyboard, of the screen. And then I'm going to take screenshots of all of the diagnostics. So the diagnostics on the battery, on the hard drive, and the performance of the machine. Crystal disk, and then there's firm mark, which is a stress tester. So I'm going to run all of those and the battery. So I'm going to take screenshots of all of those and post those. 10 pictures. I'm going to absolutely max it out. And and ChatGPT is going to write me a really good ad. Plus, I created a Facebook business page. And the name of the company is, should I remember the name of the company? Student Laptops LK. And I got a caricature of myself with a laptop and a Sri Lankan flag. It's really cute, really nice. And I set up a WhatsApp business account. So what I'm doing is I'm separating my private life from my business life. So I set up a WhatsApp business account on my South Korean phone. I set up a Facebook page separate from my current page. You can't really look at my profile because it's a business, and also it's to a different email address than my personal Facebook page. And then what I'm going to do is take really good pictures. Post all the important information. And see what happens. So I'm going to test this out, right? I'm going to test to see, can I make money? Can I do what I'm thinking I can do? If I can make 30%, I'll be happy. And the trick is to lowball them, right? I mean, obviously they're trying to make money too, but they know that they're overpricing it. What else? All right, sorry, just looking at a few things here. What was I saying? I'm going to see, like, can I make money? Can this be something that I can do? Now, like, I've spent already like $75 buying things like cleaning supplies, screwdriver set, lights, a mat, cleaning towels and stuff like that. The software and everything I can do, that's so easy. Now here's a beautiful thing. I have discovered a hacking tool that bypasses the licensing on Microsoft Office and Windows. So it's a back-end script that goes in and just cleans out the license. So it becomes a licensed product. I've been using it for years. The other thing is I put in all the software. So first thing I do is I wipe the hard drive and set up brand new clean installation of Windows. Then I update Windows 10. Not going to do 11. Not on these computers. These computers are old, Windows 10. Then I install Microsoft Office and I de-bloat everything. I take out all the crap. And I install Chrome. Then I set up Chrome. Set up Chrome with the bookmark bar and the home button. People don't know how to do that. Then there's another little trick that you can do is that your computer does not use all of the processors that are available on the CPU. You have to force it to use all the processors. It'll use one processor to the max. Only when it gets to 100 will it use the second processor. You got to use all the processors. It reduces the temperature of your CPU, your computer, especially on older computers. So I Googled all of this. How to make an older computer work faster. Another thing I learned is do not use a smartwatch when you're typing on your older laptops. This is a magnet. I'm typing on this thing and it keeps going to sleep. I'm like, is this keyboard damaged? Did I buy a piece of shit? And I'm like Googling and trying to figure out. Then I found online something from a long time ago. It says those computers were made before smartwatches. So that magnetic band that you have puts the computer to sleep. Stop using your smartwatch while you're typing. Such a simple thing. Wow. So anyway, I install, what do I install? So Chrome, and I set it up. Then I set up VLC, which is a free video software. And then I set as default. So when somebody opens up a video, it'll open up under VLC. VLC is a very low resource video product. Then I set up 7-zip, which is a zip file. If they need to use it, they'll know how to use it. I'm thinking of setting up Daemon Tools, which is a virtual hard drive, but I don't think so. What else do I set up? Adobe PDF Reader. I set it up as default. I turn on the defaults. I get rid of Edge, Microsoft Edge. I debloat. I debloat a lot of stuff. Get rid of Xbox. Get rid of OneDrive. If they want OneDrive, they can set it up. If they want OneDrive, then they know how to set it up. They don't need it. I set it up basically for newbies. So Word, Excel, calculator, Google, the new Microsoft PC Manager. I let it run in the background. Chrome with no extensions. That's it. And it's set up and running. And then I wipe it down clean, wipe everything down, vacuum out the vents. I use isopropyl alcohol to make sure it's spotless. And then today I'm going to write the ad and post the ad. And let's see what happens. Now, Saturday or Friday, I was supposed to have 3 meetings. The first guy never showed up. Even though he said, yeah, I'll meet up with you, never showed up. Second guy was good. That was the computer I got today. Third guy, his computer was a piece of crap. There was a line across the center of the screen, never said that there. In the ad, never said that. And it was a piece of crap computer. I didn't buy it. I would have never been able to sell it with a line across it. I don't want that. I can get better computers without damage, screen damage. And there looked like there was a battery bulge there was a bulge in the computer. Yeah, I'm not gonna do that. So yeah, I only got 1 out of 3. So I think I'm gonna take a step back from messaging people for a short time. When we were downtown, I went to a computer shop. There was a whole building of computer shops. And these are guys who are reselling laptops. Walk in there, there's like 100 laptops all on the wall, piles of them. So I got Desmond, I told Mom to tell Desmond this is what I want. So Desmond understood what I wanted. So he's talking to these guys because they don't speak English. Most of them are Muslim or Hindus who run these shops. But I found a nice guy, went to about 3 or 4 shops, and I said, listen, this is what I want. I want to buy, I'm a tech. I understand computers. I can't fix screens or keyboards, but I can clean them up, install software, set them up, update RAM, update hard drives, SSDs, and things like that. I understand that. But I can't fix screens and I can't fix keyboards. So this is what I want from you. I don't want your fixed laptops because you have taken the time and the money and the expertise to fix these laptops and get them ready for sale. What I want is the ones that are coming in, okay, that you haven't spent time on. So I want to buy 5 or 10 of those, my budget is $20,000 per unit. The only thing I ask is that the screen works, the keyboard works, and that there's a battery core. Batteries, I don't care. So he says, yeah, we can do that. We can do that. So he came back to me with 25. And he said that they were going to be 3-month warranty he's going to give me. And they're i5 4th gen, which are decent computers. They're decent. So based on that, ChatGPT says that I can make about 30% selling those. So what I'm going to do is, after I sell this first computer, which is a higher end computer, I'm going to go out and buy 5 of these. You know, it's not going to cost me a lot. Maybe even 10. Heck, I mean, if I buy 10 and I get him down to 22, so he wants $75 US per computer. You know, if I spend $750 on a computer, it's really not a lot of money. Maybe I'll do 5. Just to like, 750 is a lot, but you know, 350, 400, I can survive 350, 400. And here's the thing, I'm not going to lose money because I can sell them for cost and make my money back, right? Worst case scenario, then maybe I'll go for 10. If I can get his price down from 25 to 22 per unit, right? That's where the money is to be made, is can I get them for a low price? Because selling is the hardest part. Buying is the easiest part. Buying at a lower price, right? So that's the trick. So if I can get him at a lower price, I think that's where I'm going to make my money. So I'm once I come back from my trip and transfer some money from Korea, because I've invested everything. Yeah, by the way, Mom found her gold dust. She says it's $15 worth of gold dust, but it's from like 10 years ago. So I got to take that into the gold shop, see what they can do with it. It's probably not worth anything. It's not heavy at all. So we'll see what that's worth. I'm going to say it's, you can hear it. There's a couple of, she dredged this out of the water. So I'm going to say it's, I can't weigh. I don't know what it's, you know, if I can get $25-30 for it, it's $25-30. By the way, my gold investment is up. It was up. I have to, I don't know why the price of gold is up 4% in 1 week. So the calculation is off, is not working. Maybe it's because it's the weekend, but I'm going to figure that out later too. I got to figure out my Excel spreadsheet and fix that calculation. It was up like $40 or 4% or 40%. I don't know. It's up. Everything's up. Stocks are up. Investments are up. Everything's up. Things are looking good. I'm happy. That's what this is all about, guys. It's about finding that thing that makes you happy, right? I give this one piece of advice. Don't go to school to get a job to get money, because that's what everybody else is doing. Everybody wants to be a lawyer, a doctor, an engineer, whatever. They spend all this money to going into the best school to get to the best company. And then they're in debt for life, right? And then you're working with 50 to 60 other people in your department trying to get that one promotion, right? Find out what it is. Here's the secret to success. Find out what it is that you're good at. Find out what it is you enjoy doing, you want to do for the rest of your life. And then figure out how to get paid to do that. That's the trick. It's possible. Let me tell you something. I discovered I was a good salesman. And I became a salesman, and I made a ton of money doing that because I was good at it. I didn't need an education. I was a good talker. You guys know I'm a good talker. And then when I came to Korea, I discovered, well, I knew this beforehand, was that I like to drink and I like to talk to pretty girls. I like to go out to the clubs. I don't like to dance. I like to socialize. So I figured out how to get paid to do it, and I became a club host. Not a party planner. There's a difference between being a party planner and being a promoter and being a club host. I talked about this before. A party planner puts on parties and makes events and tries to earn money from getting people to come to their party. So they have to have a big social network. They have to market it to club owners. Oh, your Thursday nights are quiet? Okay, let me have a party at your place. I'll bring over all my guests. I get a cut of the bar. That's not what I do. Okay. Promoters work for a club and get a cut of every person they bring into the club. I don't want to do that. That's too much work. Gosh, my eyes are tired. What I was a club host. I was a full-time employee. I was an executive level, management level. My job was to be at the front of the club and ensure that everyone who was in the club was having a good time. My job was to ensure that the door ran well. I had a little bit of influence of who got in and who didn't. I could remove people from the club. I could bar people from the club. I could let people in, not let people in. If I saw some the front door was my domain. I had 90% control of the front door, which meant that my little section of the VIP area of the front door, I could let anybody in anytime I wanted without any question, no question. Downstairs, I had pretty good control over downstairs. I didn't get paid for tables or anything. I was a salary man. I got paid a salary, whether there was 5 people in the club or 1,000 people in the club. But I was bringing in 10 to 15% of the clientele were my guests. That was the best part. And I had 100, 200 free drink tickets. I can't even remember how many I had. The club would open at 10. I would show up about 10:30ish. Club would close at 7. I would leave anywhere after 3 a.m. depending on how tired I am or where my guests were. I would start the night off at the front door, heading downstairs every little while. Whenever my guests would come, I would take them down, physically take them downstairs. Then I'll come back up to the front door. And after about 2 a.m., I would be downstairs the whole night. And then around 3 a.m., I would be outside saying goodbye to everybody. Find out what it is that you are good at and then figure out a way to get paid to do it. That's the secret to success. The job you do has to be fun. If it's not fun, then you're going to hate doing it. That's why I'm really going to enjoy this computer thing. It's because for me, it's fun. I love negotiating. It annoys me when people don't do what they say they're going to do. That pisses me. That's the part that pisses me off. But if I can get the laptops, which is why I'm going to go to the wholesaler, the vendor, and I'm going to find a couple of guys that I will like. And I found these guys in Bumbalapidi across from Majestic City. There's a whole building with like 20 or 30 of these guys. There must be 1 million laptops in there. So these laptops are marketed to students who can do their homework, Word and Excel and Google and Zoom. That's it. Yeah, that's the other thing. I'm installing Zoom. So that they can do their lessons. Now, these kids are not the ones who are going to the library. So they don't need a battery. And even if they go to the library, they can plug in. So as long as it's got a plug, it's good. As long as it can last an hour, it's good, right? They're not business people who are taking their laptops to business meetings and doing presentations and crap. No, these are students, basic, budget laptops. They're not playing games on them. No, they're working secondhand. But I'm not focusing on. What I'm focusing on is budget laptops for students, fully loaded. And I enjoy that. So I set up a table over here. It's got electricity. I set up a power bar. I set up a mouse, keyboard, and speaker, microphone, and webcam, all so that I can plug in and check to see if it's working, right? It's got cleaning supplies. It's got lights so that I can take good pictures and everything. So yeah, it's going to be fun for me. I'm going to enjoy it. So we'll figure out by next week. You guys will know whether or not that it's working. So I want to thank you guys for joining me today. I'm going to wrap things up today. I am exhausted. I am exhausted. I need to take a nap. I doubt I'm going to go out today. If I was going to go, I would have gotten ready in the next hour to get out of here, but spend the full day at the beach. But I am tired. I want to get some sleep. I gotta fix my Excel spreadsheet. I gotta work on the computer, and that's gonna take me all day because I work slow. Live slow, live life, live happy. Guys, remember, learn to live life. Don't let life live you. I'm Sri Lankan semi-retired with mom and dad. Wishing you guys a very, very, very special weekend. Be safe, be good to each other, and take care of each other. I'm Sri Lankan Sammy. We'll see you all on the other side.